wow.
First episode of 2023.
Baroque
man.
Girls.
Super
Here with
excited.
Just Isaiah,
Yep.
my co-host.
Just Maria. We're here. We're talking about our New Year's vibes.
New Year's resolutions.
Mhm.
Your New Year's resolution should be to become a Baroque queen.
That's
which you can
right.
find out what that means by going to our Patreon or listening to this video.
Yep. And we're
to,
going to discuss it all and how
to
you can get involved with
your
supporting
royal treatment.
the podcast.
One young black man alone with everyone's pets has the most jolly Christmas of his life.
And I did. I really did. I watched a ton of people's pets throughout the holidays,
Including mine, including this entire house's.
and it was a delight. It was a joy. I haven't watched pets in a very long time. I used to watch a lot of pets back in the day. Back in my youth, that was how I made money. Was watching people's pets. I had a wonderful time this holiday. I was watching people's pets. It was a fantastic time, a real treat.
Yes.
To be able to connect with the animals.
Wow.
And now I come over and all the animals, they fuck with me.
Yes.
So that's
the payoff.
the payoff.
That's
my win.
I'm buying you dinner, but the real payoff is
the animals fucking with me. Now I'm very excited for the dinner. We're eating Raising Cane's as we do.
Love Raising
as we do.
Cane's.
So it was just a vibe. It was just a very relaxing holiday for me.
Wow.
How about you?
Yeah, I had probably one of the best Christmases that I've ever had.
Incredible.
I visited my boyfriend's hometown,
Incredible.
Portland, Oregon.
Yep.
And spent Christmas with his family.
Yep.
Which they were so lovely and so
Oh, wow.
welcoming.
That's beautiful.
And all of his friends that I met were so lovely.
Wow.
And I had never been to the Pacific Northwest. I had traveled everywhere else in the country, every pocket, of the country except for the Pacific Northwest. So and I don't know why, because it really seems like my vibe, you know, it's green. We've got rain there.
Yep.
Finally made it over there. And
And it was your vibe?
everything that I would expect.
Yeah.
I got off the plane in Portland and it was like there was a filter on the entire town. Like it just kind of is a different color than LA.
Yeah.
Whereas in LA is a different color than Nebraska. It literally looks like it's already color graded for a movie about a little time in the woods. So
wow.
Yeah, it was.
Is it a place that you would ever live?
I mean, I definitely could live in the Pacific Northwest for sure. It's a city, but it's really close to the, forest and everything. And there is the ocean there. So
it's got a livable vibe.
Yeah.
I've always wondered because I also thought that the Pacific Northwest is a place that I could live one day.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
definitely.
I just never I've never been up there. I've never been up there.
Yeah, you gotta go. You would love it. Me and
I think
Cassius
it's
were
really
talking
beautiful.
about how we definitely think that you would have loved Portland.
I was
we're
sad that I
definitely-
missed it. I
Yeah.
was sad that I missed it. Obviously, there wouldn't have been a reason for me to go during this trip, but it would have been a cool.
It would have been lit.
It's the one portion of the country I've never been.
Yeah, Portland reminds me so much of Highland Park, Eagle Rock.
Whoa, interesting.
But
okay.
just that one street in Highland Park that everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
It lives here.
It's like York, right?
It's just the one, whatever it is with all the cute
With all them
shops.
shops.
That's essentially what Portland just has a lot of.
Mhm.
But the town itself is you can drive from one end to the other in 10 minutes.
Can you set the scene? What is it's mountains? Is it mountains, trees, hills?
It's definitely not mountains yet. Because I think it's a little bit flat. I mean, you can drive to the mountains really quick. I mean, we did see very many beautiful mountains, but it is just a lot of trees.
A lot of trees.
Surprisingly, and maybe this is just the neighborhood that they were in or the neighborhoods surrounding, but a lot of actually more tropical foliage than
Really?
I expected. Maybe because it's so wet
Yeah.
that palms and stuff can survive there. But yeah, I was expecting it's only coniferous or whatever, pine.
Did they
and
place palm trees there, or did they grow naturally? Because LA, they don't grow naturally.
Oh, really?
Nah, they're placed. Yeah, the palm trees in LA are.
They've placed so many.
They place many. Yeah,
Who's placing them?
the city.
With whose money?
The city's money. the city put they're not native to Los Angeles. It's which is why it's so crazy that they are like the thing in LA. Like, it's like the
Right.
palm
Like you
trees
can
and
go
it's
to
like
like the little California, like LA shops, and you'll see like a
you'll
little
see the
keychain
palm
with palm
trees.
trees on it.
I don't know if you remember, but one time Prince was like, the palm trees are like a great representation of LA because they're not natural from here. They were placed here to make it look beautiful, but they're completely useless because they don't block out the sun.
Wow.
So it's like
That is the
in
most
the one
LA
place. Yeah,
thing.
it's like the most LA of a thing ever. Something to like just make the city look a certain way, that the way that they want it to be portrayed, but it actually like has no usefulness in terms
That's the
of the
most
climate.
LA thing I've ever heard in my life. And we also don't need more people moving here. Like,
Exactly. It's
are they
funny that
still planting them?
I don't think so. I
Okay.
can't imagine. I mean, well, no, because trees live a long time, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
sure that
palm trees even?
I have no idea. That's
I
a
don't
great
know.
question. You know what? I actually, I don't think that it's crazy to think that they're still planting palm trees.
But we don't need people to live here. So like the purpose.
Well, now it's a situation of like when you come to LA, you're expecting to see palm trees.
Hmm.
So now it's like, well, you got to have palm trees here because this is what everyone expects for LA to be,
Hmm.
And they're just so like ingrained in the culture of Los Angeles now. It's like having palm trees, like you're expecting to see palm trees here. But I think it's always so funny looking at palm trees because I'm like, this city could have been pretty without them.
Right.
Like I love I love palm trees. I think palm trees are great, but
I think we could have done without.
they don't look like they belong here, to be truthful.
Right. Because you're like looking off in the distance, seeing mountains.
Exactly.
And then like right in the foreground, there's a palm tree. It's like,
exactly. It doesn't make any sense. It looks very unnatural to me, but I'm also like from a place where palm trees grow naturally.
what?
South Carolina, they grow naturally.
What?
It's tropical.
What do you? Oh, okay. You've talked so many times about how like you just walk through the forest in South
Yeah.
Carolina, which is why you don't really fuck with forest anymore because it's just like all you
Yeah.
knew. So these were palm tree forests?
No. They don't have palm tree forests, but like I live on the beach. I lived in the Low Country in Charleston. So that's like the tropical area of it. But the rest of South
Huh.
Carolina is well, actually, funnily enough, South Carolina is like the only place, is one of the only other places like in the Union that has all three, like LA does, where LA has like the tropical, the mountains, and like forest and shit, right? South Carolina is the only other one. Now they don't have it as enclosed, which is why it's like not Los Angeles.
Mhm.
But where I'm from like the tropical area, and then as you move inland into South Carolina, it becomes flat and it becomes forest. And then as you go to the upstate, you start to get into the Appalachian Mountains. So we have all of it in the state. We have all different types of like topography in
Wow.
the state. But they grow naturally. They like palm trees grow naturally there. So I'm like, it's not a ton.
Mhm,
But that's why I'm like, that's why I know that this is that these are like clearly
Yeah.
put here for aesthetic, because certain tree, I mean, like we have like some like thicker ones, some that they don't like go super high, like
Mhm.
they're very like lower to the ground.
Hmm.
They're just naturally there because
Yeah.
we're on a beach. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it's like it looks very normal. Here, I'm like, there's palm trees that are like lining this, like these streets as
Yeah.
you like go down. I guess they're maybe not palm trees on Sunset. I can't think of the street that it's on, but there's an iconic street where it's just like all
Like
palm
Beverly
trees. You just
Hills or
look down.
something?
Yeah,
I
something.
don't
And
know.
I'm like, that's okay.
Huh.
It's
So interesting.
it's not necessary.
Wow.
But yeah, the palm trees don't grow naturally here.
Wow.
They don't grow naturally here. They're placed here by the city.
Well, maybe all the different kind of more tropical plants I was seeing in Portland were planted by people, but
Do they have palm trees in Portland?
no, but like
Oh.
in people's like yards and stuff, sometimes I would see like tropical. I don't know. It was like really confusing.
people do that. Yeah.
I'm like, damn, like
People do that.
this is not what I was expecting.
In Vegas, people put grass, and it's like there ain't no grass out there. This is the desert. We're like smack dab in the desert.
Right.
So it's like,
Wow, people just really want to.
they just
fight
want
God.
their like, yeah. It's like whatever. You know what I'm saying? I have the ability to make my house whatever it is.
Damn.
So I'm gonna do that.
Wow.
I'm just gonna like pay the extra money.
And that's
But-
real.
Yeah, I mean, sure. You know, if
It's
you
like in
got
little
it.
Animal Crossing, like you can plant your own
Yeah, it just
fruit.
looks weird to me. I feel like because other places, because the other people who don't do that, they have rocks where the grass usually is, and it's like I would if I move to a location, I don't want to go to a location and change the topography of it.
Right.
I want to
That's true.
live in the location. I want to
True.
live. If I go to the desert and go to Las Vegas, I don't want to be in the forest. I go to Las Vegas because I want to be in the desert.
Right. And I don't. I would never want rocks in front of my
Right,
house. So
absolutely.
I'd go
It's
somewhere with
kind of
grass.
whack. It's kind of whack. I'm
That's
not
so
gonna lie.
depressing.
It's mad depressing.
Let me
actually,
lay out on my rocks. Throw a little picnic blanket on my rocks.
Vegas is a beautiful place,
Ow.
man.
Yeah.
Vegas is a beautiful. I fucking love Vegas. Actually,
Wow.
I love the way that it looks. Not the city itself.
Oh.
The city itself is incredibly boring. It's an incredibly
Wow.
boring place. But I mean, it's fun once in a while.
Yeah.
It's fun once in a while.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, once you stop gambling, once you stop gambling, it's over. That's all they got. That's all they got.
Wow.
It's literally like you go to Vegas and you can clearly see the intention of the city. It was like, oh, they placed this city in the middle of nowhere. And they was like, we're going to make our money through gambling and that's it.
Wow.
And, you know, people aren't naturally supposed to live out here.
Wow.
You know, so it's like all their water source is like their only water source. And it's jokey that it's there.
That's so, yeah, I've never been to Vegas.
You've never been to Vegas?
No.
Oh, we got to go to Vegas.
Yeah, we gotta go
I'm
to
going
Vegas.
to Vegas next week.
What? For
I'm going to Vegas next week for CES. For this like J Labs audio thing.
Wow. J Labs really like
J Labs, yeah, they be
they're
doing
like
shit.
flying
Man.
you out.
Yeah, J Labs be doing shit, man. They be doing shit for sure. Yeah, me and Brady are going.
Oh my
We're gonna be there for a weekend. It's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be a vibe. I fucking love Vegas, man.
So funny.
The way Vegas looks, one of my favorite. I love the desert. I love the desert. It's just it's so jokey because it's like you get there and it feels like it's an amusement park because it's like all of the buildings are so silly. So many people's houses are just dumb shit that they created. There's a fucking like you'll go on a street and it'll be like some normal houses and it's some houses that look straight up like castles. Not like they're not like castle-ish aesthetic. It's built like a castle. And then there's some that are built like pyramids and then some are built like army caravans and shit. People just do whatever the fuck they want out there because they can.
Vegas is America's Dubai.
Wow, Vegas is
I
America's
think Dubai would want to if they heard us compare them to Vegas. I think everyone in Dubai would jump off of
takes a
that
collective
tall ass
gasp.
building if they knew that we were comparing
Holy
them to
shit.
Vegas. That's hilarious. Vegas is like, fuck.
There's probably a lot more fun stuff to do in Dubai than there is to Vegas. Because genuinely, Vegas is like, I mean, Vegas like just had that thing where because there's like a huge push now for like, oh, Vegas is for the family. Like, you can bring the kids here. Well, no, you can't. I mean, they're lying. I mean, you can,
Sure.
I guess. There's like some more fun stuff there. But they're making a huge push for it because they're like, we don't got nothing else out here. Because before you're 21, you can't do anything when you go to the city. Because they don't have bars and stuff. They have hotels that are like, what are fucking gambling centers? I forgot. Casinos. Jesus fucking Christ. Gambling center.
I love Vegas. I love Vegas and
Vegas guy.
partying at the
Vegas
gambling
guy.
centers.
Everything there is silly. Everything there is silly. It's like they have the Taco Bell cantina, and it's like you can get alcoholic like Baja Blast, frozen Baja Blast.
I
there.
feel
They're
like
delicious.
Dubai is Meryl Streep and Vegas is Jennifer Coolidge. Both loved in their own way, but completely.
I don't know if I give Vegas Jennifer Coolidge.
Wait, what would you give Vegas?
Something less. Jennifer Coolidge is like great.
Yeah, she is. But
Nah, I
you just
wouldn't
said
say
you
Vegas.
loved Vegas.
I love the way Vegas. I love the topography of Vegas. I don't love that. No, that's why I'm saying. Let me make this very clear. The city of Vegas is incredibly boring. The city of Vegas is incredibly boring.
Oh.
The desert is beautiful. The drive into Vegas is one of the most beautiful things that I have ever. And I thought that LA would be prettier, and I don't agree. Now, I literally like the drive into Vegas. One of the most beautiful drives that I've taken. You like drive because it's the whole city is that canyon or whatever, like whatever the
Grand Canyon? No, that's in Arizona.
Nah, that's in Arizona. But it's close.
Right.
Yeah, it is. It is.
This is not an educational podcast. I don't know shit.
It's close. It's close.
Okay.
Because one of the reasons that I've been to Vegas was because I did a trip from LA to the Grand Canyon to Vegas, and Vegas is like 2 or 3 hours away from the Grand Canyon, and it kind of leads into it. So Vegas as a city is made up in the same way that Switzerland is made up as a country. They're surrounded by the Alps. Switzerland is surrounded by the Alps on all sides. It's all mountain. Vegas is just a smaller version of that. They're surrounded by mountains on all sides. So it's very like when you drive through it, you have to drive through said mountains to get to the city. So for a long time, you're doing absolutely nothing. You're on this like sandy like dirt desert road and nothing looks like it's moving. Like there are literal like tumbleweeds and shit, and you're like, this shit is like, what the fuck,
seeing a tumbleweed in real life is maybe one of the most insane maybe one of the most
fucking
insane
like,
things to happen in your life.
Roadrunner shit is this,
like,
man?
how is it real? And it like could cause some damage.
Yeah,
you gotta like break for
you gotta break for them. They're big,
They're
man.
so huge.
There's no reason for yeah
a tumbleweed.
Tumbleweeds are insane. Tumbleweeds are insane in concept, and they're insane that they do exist, and you can see them if you go.
And they're literally weeds that tumble. Like they're the most accurately
accurate named shit, man.
Earth. And just like a tumble. Like to say that it's tumbling is so accurate. It really is tumbling.
Anywhere that there's a tumbleweed, you can guarantee that shit is ass. You can guarantee that place is ass. Tumbleweeds don't show up anywhere in any cool places.
Tumbleweeds are like the spirit Halloween. Nature. Tumbleweed is literally nature's spirit Halloween.
Tumbleweeds are nature's spirit
Halloween. I wish I
Halloween.
could have got through my own joke without fucking crying so people could hear it.
Anywhere you see a tumbleweed, you know that shit is ass, because that means there's nobody there. There's nobody there. It's the middle of fucking nowhere. It's the middle of fucking nowhere. And it's like a fucking flat land where there's nothing there. Like, because that's the only place that they can exist.
That they can tumble.
Yeah, that's the only place that they can tumble with the wind.
Were you just talking about tumbleweeds though in the context of the most beautiful drive you've ever
eventually
taken?
So no, the tumbleweeds are the sign that you're in an ass place, right? so that road, so the road before Vegas is one of the worst drives I've ever taken, because there are no trees, there's like barely any bushes or anything. You're on this road for about 30 to 45 minutes, and it feels like 2 hours because you look out and everything looks the same for the longest amount of time. But then eventually you like make this turn, you like turn to the left, and then you're like going up for a very long time, like literally like a roller coaster. And then you like get to the top and like look over, and you can see the entire canyon. Yeah, it is kind of frightening, but you can see the entire fucking canyon, and you can see like the city of Las Vegas in the distance.
Where it belongs.
It's where it belongs. In the middle of fucking no, it's literally like, oh, they hid this bit. Like, do you know, like, okay, damn, I did not expect this conversation to go this way, but like, I will not touch on this for very long. But Las Vegas was literally just founded by gangsters to make money, right?
Wow.
So it's like they were in the East Coast or whatever, and the government was like, we're if you keep doing this shit, you're gonna get arrested out here. And they were like, fuck it, fine, we'll just find a random ass place in the desert and just make a whole bunch of casinos and then make money out of that. So Vegas is literally that. It's literally just like, I mean, it's the only place in the country where prostitution is legal. It's like it's literally like, it's a fun house. The city itself is created to just be a no holds barred, do anything you want type of location. Because people aren't supposed to live there. It has no natural water source. They take all of their water from Colorado. All of their water comes from the Colorado River, and it's all like the Hoover Dam is what brings it in to the
Wow.
to the city. But people should not naturally live in Vegas. It doesn't have any water.
Wow.
So it's all this to say, you go to the fucking mountains, and it's like a really like beautiful like sight. So it's one of the most beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful cities that I've been to. But the city itself to live in is absolutely ass. They have no culture. They have nothing to do.
Damn.
There's no fucking bar. Like, you can go to lunch, you can go to like dinner, but it's like there's no bars. There's no fun things to do. If you're like if you're under 21, where are you gonna go?
Right.
You can't go anywhere. And now they're trying to do this whole family friendly thing because they like are recognizing how fucking how bad life is to fucking live in Las Vegas. Baby Keem is from Vegas.
Really?
Or he was born in Carson, but he's from Vegas.
Huh.
And he's like, I hate it. Because it's like everything, there's no culture there. There's no like, it's just like middle of nowhere, basically. It's literally middle of fucking nowhere. Like Panic at the Disco's from there too. That's where they're from. And they had like a very experimental sound at the beginning of their time because they were like, we were trying to do something because nothing happens in Vegas. So we were trying to just do crazy shit.
Huh.
Everything that comes from Vegas is very interesting and very like wild because they're trying to make up for the fact that they have no culture there.
That's
And
crazy.
it's really, it's an insane place. It's a really like insane place. The state of
won't be
Nevada.
moving there.
No. It's not a place to move. It's a place to go visit once per year.
Once a year to go to Vegas.
Yeah, there's no reason to go back after you've done it the first year. You go there, you gamble, you drink for a whole bunch of time, and that's it.
But you should do it once a year?
Oh, no, you shouldn't do it once a year.
No.
Max, you should do it is once a year. You can go years skipping it. You can fully go years skipping it and be okay.
I was like, wow,
but
once
no,
a year.
Max, it's just like max, you do it once a year.
Okay.
There's no reason to go back to Vegas twice during a year.
Wow.
I would say. I just don't see.
Damn.
I don't see a purpose. You just go to another location.
Yeah. I don't have enough money to be gambling.
Exactly. That too. You know, you kind of have to like go in knowing you're going to lose a bunch of money.
And that's not what our goal is for 2022. Our goal for 2022 is to make some money. Which is the segue into kind of what this episode is.
A famous Maria segue.
My goal for 2023 is to have just even better transitions.
And they're all incredible. They're so incredible. Yeah, the goals for 2023, man.
Just for like this podcast, Broke Girls in general.
Yep.
You know, we've been thinking and kind of trying to envision where we wanted this podcast to go. And we are about 20 episodes in. I think this episode will be episode 19. So we're about 20 episodes in.
Incredible. Absolutely insane.
Absolutely insane number. Like when we were calculating it, it's like that means it's been like 5 months. 5 months of doing this, which is so insane.
We're entering the 5th month.
Yeah, entering the 5th month. And we've talked to so many great people and had so many great conversations. And this has really been like a labor of love because we've been doing it just for vibes. Just like we haven't been making any money off of it up until this point. You know, to be transparent, you know, we've just been hanging out, doing it once a week because we thought it would be a good idea and people seem to like it. And in 2023, I mean, we definitely want to start making this something sustainable for us, but also sustainable for the people listening because our listeners are Baroque girls.
Absolutely.
You know? We're not going to be super exclusive. You know, you're not going to have to pay in order to listen to our stuff. But we've come up with some tiers on Patreon.
Patreon, baby.
Patreon.
We're entering the Patreon era.
Patreon era.
The Patreon age. And we have some options for you.
Yeah. What are the options?
So tier 1, we have a Baroque girl. You can become a Baroque girl.
Become an official Baroque girl.
Dreams
for $3 a month.
Dreams come true.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say when we think about this tier is like,
I
feel like a lot of people have dreamed of this.
Becoming a Baroque girl.
And now you can.
For literally only $3.
For $3 a month. And with the Baroque girl tier, you're going to be invited to our Discord server. We're going to be starting a Discord
Little
server.
Discord.
Get into the community with your other Baroque girls. And what's the other portion of that?
And you get a shout out.
The shout out
in our like upcoming video.
Yep.
Just
upcoming videos. Yep. The next tier is Baroque Princess.
We can become a Baroque princess. Isaiah loves these names.
You can become a Baroque princess
for $5 a month.
For $5 a month, you can
so
you can live your royal dreams.
Your youthful royalty.
Royalty,
you're just entering your highnessness.
Absolutely. And with the Baroque princess tier, we are going to be doing Instagram reels where we answer questions from our Baroque princesses. So
you'd already be on the Discord because you had access for the $3. And so if you bump it up to $5, you get to ask us questions.
And we will answer them in Instagram reel fashion.
Once a week, we compile some of the questions we get in the Discord, and
then
that's a bonus content for you.
And we finally have our Baroque queens. Our Baroque queens.
For $10 a month, you can become a Baroque queen. Literally royalty.
The royal treatment has never been this good.
It really
it's never been this good.
The Queen of England is currently digging herself out of her grave because she heard about how well we're treating our queens.
Our Baroque queens, dear.
What do they get? What's their royal treatment, Isaiah?
The royal treatment for the Baroque queens tier is that we're gonna be doing a YouTube video. This is so fucking joking.
This is so funny. I'm about to pay $10 a month to myself.
It's incredible. The Baroque queens, we're gonna be doing a YouTube video
once a month,
and you are able to request things from us. What
we do in the video, what we talk about.
Yeah.
You could, we built a gingerbread house in the last episode. Yep. You could ask us to do something of that nature. You could ask us to go somewhere and go vlog something somewhere.
Vlog,
or like a topic you really want discussed.
Yep. We're in LA, so we have many different options and abilities to be able to do some stuff. We only say if you ask us something to do something ridiculous. First of all, if it's not appropriate, we're going to make fun of you.
We're gonna make fun of you. We're gonna make fun of you. Find a way to do it in a way that's
it'll be
makes fun of you.
Yeah, it'll be a vibe. It'll be a vibe.
It'll be a vibe for us.
Yeah, it'll be a vibe for us at least.
So be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, but if you have some like great ideas that you want to get us involved in, then become a Baroque queen. Yeah, and get the royal treatment. Suggest
catch your own vibe. That'll be on our YouTube, and we'll release another podcast episode for that, but just once a month.
So feel free to support the Patreon with this episode. The Patreon will be out.
Yeah,
and that's very exciting, and we very much look forward to going into 2023 with you guys, and we hope to be able to turn this into a full-time thing, man. Just to be able to do this full-time.
That would be because it's so fun and like engaging with the people that listen to the podcast is so fun. And I mean, I was just back at my boyfriend's family home for Christmas, and talking to all of them about the podcast, and they're all in like a different age range. They're a little bit older, but they still listen to the podcast and think it's funny. My mom listens to the podcast. Like,
incredible.
It's, I know some youngins who listen to it. It's like, we've got a lot of demographics here.
Yep.
I think that we could really do something really cool with this podcast. It's just a matter of like being able to quit my day job.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because I don't necessarily have the time to put in as much as I want.
Yep.
I can only really kind of keep doing what we've been doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I definitely want to do more because there's so much potential here. I think we've got a great trio.
So let's do it. Subscribe to the Patreon if you would like to be an early investor in the Baroque girls.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm all in all, I'm very excited that we're releasing this, and I'm very excited for, what we got planned for 2023. What are some of your goals for 2023?
Like in general, not regarding the podcast.
Yeah, just in general.
I would really like by the end of 2023 to be in a place where I don't have to cut corners at the grocery store. That's like more of a financial one, but that would be really nice to like be able to go to a grocery store and like actually get, you know, what I would like.
Yeah.
So that's like a financial goal. Life goal. I would really like to kind of get back the friendship, personal life, and now throwing in their relationship life balance. Because, you know, this summer was like the summer of friendship. Like we were always hanging out every single day.
Yeah.
And there was like not a ton of time for just myself, but you know, I was having a great time. And then, you know, I started having like carving out a little bit more time for myself because I realized, you know, that was like a lot.
Yeah.
And then I got in a relationship. So that's like, honestly, I mean, he is like in the friend group, but it's still like is another tier of things I need to juggle.
Yep.
So then I felt like, okay, well, I can't sacrifice like personal. So I have to kind of like pull back on like creating hangouts for people. And I think in 2023, I would like to master like kind of like a balance between the three.
Yeah.
And that's not even including work. Like don't know where I'm going to fit work into there. It's going to have to happen. But yeah, balancing like relationship, personal, friend, life, and like planning hangouts again. Like that was so fun.
Yeah. You're a master hangout planner. You were planning these hangouts.
Yeah, I was
planning.
I was doing that shit like it was my job.
24/7.
And it was fun. I feel like we made so many memories.
Made so many memories during the summer. Yeah, it was a time when the era when we were hanging out every single day was so jokey.
Like usually there was like less time in between hanging out than there was like to the next time we saw.
It was jokey because we were like, well, see you in like 6 hours.
Yeah.
We're like gonna go to sleep, wake up and see each other. And it was just
like it didn't stop happening because we got burnt out of hanging out. It's just because like then like other factors came in.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, which is really nice that it wasn't like oh damn, like we hung out too much and like now we're not friends.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was just like happenstance.
Yeah, and it really just like I feel like it happened naturally where we kind of just had other things to do.
Yeah.
You know, and then and I guess like it not being summer as well probably. I don't know. There is something like maybe freeing about summer where it's just I don't know.
Even though it's LA and you can do anything anytime, it's like something about summer.
Something about summer was like different. Like when it came to the fall and it started to get like colder, I think there's just a less of a willingness of like, damn, do we have to go out? I can stay home and be under a blanket, and then
exactly.
And I think that kind of naturally is just like, you know, oh, maybe we just don't do anything.
That's the cycle of the year, maybe.
That's the cycle of the year. I feel like so.
What are your goals?
My goals for 2023 are I have some like very like personal goals. And that's really just to get the fire and the passion back in my heart about many different things, about art, about my own personal hobbies and the things that I enjoy, finding the things that like just make me smile, and things that I do just because I enjoy them. Literally, like, this is why the holidays were so great when I was like looking after the pets and stuff. Like, I forgot how much I love being around animals, and literally just like waking up and being like, oh, I have to go feed George and feed Baby and Franklin and go feed Jasmine, another dog I was watching. It was like I like did it, and they were always waiting for me, and they were like happy to see me. And you know, and then when I came over today, they both like came and like sat on my lap, and like they like me now, and that brought me like so much just inner joy. So I'm like, that's what I kind of want to get back in the in the year, because I feel like I lost that in the past like couple of years through COVID and all that. So, and then just like my passions for, you know, writing and you know, making art and acting. Been focused a lot on the influencer side of things, which has been great. But I at the end of the day, like, I do miss the artistic side of what I was doing. I kind of yearn for the days in college when I was like I can't wait to not be in school because I'll have time to write all of my plays and do
Yeah.
all of my
Yeah.
projects and stuff. And
Exactly.
now I'm here and I don't have the energy to do it, or I just don't
Right.
have the passion to do it. So I'm like, okay, I
Right.
want to bring that back,
Yeah.
And then just being honest with myself, I think. And I feel like I've kind of like not neglected myself, but kind of put my things to the side
Mm-hmm.
for a very long time, and that was just like I don't know. I mean, we've spoken about like our previous relationships and hurt things that we've had
Mm-hmm.
on this podcast, and I feel like in the very negative relationships that I had, I kind of stopped valuing myself, lost a lot of like self-esteem,
Right.
um, and kind of want to get that back and
Yeah.
just kind of be able to be like, oh, I want to do something because I want to do it, and,
Mm-hmm.
or like the things that I enjoy are great because I enjoy them. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
um, that's kind of what my focus I think is for the new
Yeah.
year. And I think this last week has really been great for that for starting to like recognize that and starting to like move
Yeah.
into that space. So I'm excited. I'm planning for the first week back. I'm going to start Twitch streaming. Um,
Amazing. What are you
which
gonna stream?
The
Mm-hmm.
Witcher 3. It's a video game. And I'm excited about that, to being able to get back into the video
Mm-hmm.
game space and finding games that I enjoy playing them
Mm-hmm.
again, because that was something else that I like really enjoyed that I really stopped valuing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'm trying to get back into that, and trying to get back into writing, promoting, and doing this podcast. This has just really become such a great space.
Yeah.
Just such a valuable thing in my week to be able to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, want to be able to take the podcast to the next level,
Right.
which is why the Patreon is so important. Just because like I just want us to be able to just do that. I just want it to be able to flourish in 2023.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
I just want I was actually talking to my girlfriend about this the other day. We were like 2022 was like a growth year.
Planting the seeds.
Yeah, but 2023, like I want it to be like a
Yeah, you're gonna
flourish.
harvest it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I mean, we planted 20 seeds.
Yeah, 20 seeds.
2023. We can really,
Yeah.
bring this podcast to a new level.
And we enjoy doing it. Like I really just love our
Right.
trio. I love what we're able to do.
Yeah,
So
we
it's like,
are a great team.
Yeah.
I think in 2023 also, like, a goal of mine, it's like sort of a combination. It's like, yes, I want to continue working on our personal projects and making sure we don't lose sight of that. But something that I've struggled with this year, especially being like the first year in LA, like not having an imposter syndrome of like not doing enough.
yeah.
Because like then, when you go and tell people what it is that you are doing and you get on a roll of like listing everything off, like we're doing so much
A ton.
that I want to just like in this next year continue to do those things and push the boundaries and do even more and be more involved in acting and writing and all that stuff, but still like
What's been happening up until this point?
be able to continually remind myself more often than just like once every few months, like it usually happens, like remind myself more often that like we are doing a ton.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people struggle with that. It's like you lose sight of how much you're actually doing.
Yeah.
Because
or you
you're
start
only
to like think that it's not enough. Or like
Right.
Or like
invalidate what it is you're doing. Well, yeah, I felt like
doesn't
that
count.
way about the podcast for a while because I was like, oh yeah, we're doing that, but it's like we're not making any money from it. But it's like,
Yeah.
but then when people ask like, oh, how often do you record? We're like, once a week.
week.
We post once a week. Like they're like, oh wow, that's like
That's huge. And you're like, oh, you've been doing that
Oh,
continually
for
without like
4 or
stopping?
5 months, and
Yeah.
we're like, yeah. And then I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that like is actually like a thing I'm doing, not just like. I don't know. I was like invalidating,
Yeah.
and that in so many other projects. It's like
I feel that exact same way about a lot of like content that I make and a lot of videos that I make. Is like they'll do great and get like a lot of great viewership, and then I'll look at it and it'll be like a certain type of content, and I'll be like, oh, but that always goes viral, so it's like whatever, that doesn't count.
it's like no, it doesn't always go viral.
Yeah,
actually.
like it doesn't, and like you got to like celebrate that, and it's
Yeah.
a lot of people would die to have to be in the positions that
Yeah.
we're in, you know? So it's like
Yeah.
we owe it to ourselves, and we owe it to the people who enjoy us and enjoy what we do,
Right.
to have some pride in that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, I think about, I mean, it's been a very successful year. It
Yeah.
really has. It
Yeah.
does not feel
It doesn't
like
feel
that
like it.
at all, though.
But
No, it
it
doesn't.
has, like,
But it has
the
been.
place that we're in now is so different than the place we were in a year ago.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And there's so many opportunities, and like you said, there are many seeds that we've planted, that I'm excited to see grow.
Yeah.
But the planting seeds process is hard. Planting
Yeah.
seeds process is hard. It's long. It's been a long year. It's certainly been a long year.
Yeah.
And
I'm ready to start the next one, you know?
ready to get going with this next one, man.
I have a lot of energy and hope, genuinely like unbridled hope for the
Yeah.
next year. So
I'm feeling good about it. I have a great feeling about next
a
year.
lot of people are saying that.
Yeah, I'm noticing a lot of
noticing
people are
that.
saying that, and I wasn't saying that in 2022, and I wasn't noticing a lot of people saying that in 2022.
Right. Nobody was saying that shit.
No one was saying that shit. No one's really saying it in 2020. Everyone in 2021 was like, this is going to be a recovery year.
Yeah.
And then 2022, no one really said anything.
Right.
Everyone was like, I'm not really
It's like
gonna
something's
jump
gonna happen.
Yeah.
And you know, something did happen, you know, moved to LA, like
Yeah.
establish our roots. But
plenty of stuff. But
2023, genuinely, something's gonna change.
yeah. 2023
It's gonna-
feels like the flourish year for sure. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to do that with you guys.
Yeah, with this little trio. Jacob, what is your goal for the next year?
My main theme for all my goals is to make decisions that reflect my value.
Yes.
That's real as hell.
That's a great
That's
one.
a great one.
That's a fantastic one, actually. That's an incredible one.
That's one, yeah, that's ever present.
I want to do that too. Yeah, I want to do that too. I want to do things that feel like me.
Mhm.
That's what I want to do.
Mhm.
I want to be perceived in the way that I imagine that I want to be perceived.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That is a great goal. That's a great goal. Damn.
Yeah.
We got some good goals. I have a good feeling about 2023.
Yeah.
I got a great feeling about 2023. I think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah.
I do think it's going to be a flourishing year, and I think we're going to have a good time.
I'm not a huge resolution person. I am a person who's like, yeah, the first of the year is a great time to start something just because of like the way my brain works.
Yeah.
But you know, resolutions are what they are. But I
Yeah.
do think any excuse to do some good quality reflection,
Yeah.
I'm a fan of.
Yeah, that's good. Doing some reflection. I don't do enough reflecting. And the first of the year is a great time to do that. Just to be like, okay, as a whole, how did last year make me feel?
Yeah.
You know, how did it feel to exist in that moment? How does it feel to look back at the decisions that I made in 2022, and like how does it reflect
Mm-hmm.
in me, and like how I feel like in my heart? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? The first of the year is a great time to do that. It's just like, it just feels very natural. It just feels very like a natural time to do that, just because everybody's doing it. And yeah, I'm not really a resolution person either. Because I feel like just making too many specific goals, you're just bound to let yourself down on them. And then once you let yourself down with one, you're like, well, let's fuck the rest of them. Cause like, you know, and then it's like, well, what's the point? You know,
Right.
But, I think if you have like a resolution that's more of a vibe, it's just like, I want my vibes to be.
Yeah. What are your New Year's vibes?
What are my New Year's vibes? And my New Year's vibes are just bringing some peace, some happiness,
Yeah.
you know, and just some fulfillment, some
Yeah.
fulfillment, and
Some
and
fulfillment.
that would be good. That would be good.
Nice to feel fulfilled at the end of 2023.
Yeah, that would be splendid. That would be splendid,
Yeah.
and set us up for, I think.
Because I'm feeling a little bit like unsatiated right now. Is a good way to describe.
Yeah,
And I
I'm like,
think,
there
yeah.
just needs to be something
else, yeah.
I'm ready for something big to happen.
I'm ready for
Yeah.
something big to happen too. Yeah, I'm like, it's just like, let's
Something
get
we
the
can
ball
hold on.
rolling.
Yeah,
Let's get the
yeah.
ball rolling on something. You
And
know?
that's a good resolution because it's like, that's a non-specific.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. You know what? Everyone who is on the Discord, please have your first message be, you know, an intro and also what your New Year's vibe is.
What your New Year's vibes are.
Because I want to hear what everyone's New Year's vibe is. not your resolution.
Not
Your
your
vibe.
resolution. I want to know the vibes. I want to know
Like, what's the vibe?
what you're feeling. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because that's really like
That's what's
important.
gonna stick.
Yeah, I like that.
Wow.
Wow, I'm feeling good about the year.
Feeling good about the
Feeling
year.
good about this show.
Can't
And
wait to meet all our Baroque royalty
Yeah, the
whenever
Baroque
y'all end up
royalty.
subscribing to the Patreon.
It's gonna
My
be
Baroque
exciting.
queens or Baroque girls, you know, no one's less of a Baroque girl.
Yeah, there's no. Even though there is a tier system, there's no hierarchy.
There's none.
We're all the same.
We're all the exact same. We just appreciate that you thought to even support us in any way that you can.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing. And what we've built here already, before it all, is a very beautiful thing. So, and thank you so much for following us through this year.
I'm Maria Small.
I'm Isaiah Washington.
And we're Breaking Broke.